Oh my god, that's so loud. Okay, let me turn that down to nothing because I don't want to hear it. Okay, well, I suppose if we're gonna be a shit show, we're gonna just be a shit show today. Hello, whoever's out there. Um, my name is Bear, and I'm barely watercoloring. And I'm barely musicking today because Spotify sucks butt today. I don't know why it's being stupid. It just doesn't like me. On today of all days, it decides just not to want to function. I can get it to work if I play it over speakers, but as soon as I switch it to my headphones, it just dies, doesn't show up on stream, it just kaputs completely. I tried uninstalling it, reinstalling it, resetting it, restarting the computer, everything I can think of without doing like a deep dive on the internet, and I just don't feel like doing that right now. So I already wasted like 20-ish minutes just trying to fuck around with that. So I said, screw it, forget about it. I don't care. Um, Anyone who might have been in early would notice there was an ad roll. That's expected. There's going to be ads from now on because I got affiliate, which I will tell when people are actually here and watching and chatting. I'll update that happened. But out of nowhere, I got the email last week to be invited to the affiliate program. So I spent a day or two over the weekend adding some new stuff. So we'll talk about it when there's people here. Um, for now, though, what am I doing? I don't know. Man. I didn't really plan for today. I just kind of am winging it. Sometimes those turn into the good days, sometimes not. It didn't start great with the audio thing, so that's always a downer, bummer, BS. So what I'll probably do is just random, you know, like usual when I don't have a plan. This is what we did. What is today? Monday. This is what we did on Thursday. It's pretty cool looking, right? Might be a touch bright because I'm right next to the lamp, but yeah, I can switch to this guy and zoom in a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so they came out pretty nice from last week. Pretty happy with that. And we made some more business cards as well, which I mean maybe we'll do some today as well, because why not? It's extra. We did these guys. Like so. Similar to the ones we did the week before, but instead of just letting it go everywhere and being completely abstract everywhere, I did some kind of planning to make it be a particular set of colors. So I like how these came out a little bit more than the ones before that. But it gives me a pattern to kind of work on additional ones. So if we want to do another batch of business cards, we can throw a couple in here, which I don't mind doing. And then maybe we can work on one or two of these, and we can pick one to paint, see how it goes, except for this one. I did a full-size version of this. I don't want to redo it. Little L-Cars one might be cute. So yeah, we'll look through these. Ooh, Voyager would always be fun. So we can look through these and pick pick one to paint in a little bit. But for now, maybe we'll start like last time and just throw a business card together. It's always good to have a couple extra of those. And then once I run out of these, I have this and one more sheet like this. And then I'll probably try to design a different one to be a different shape. And yeah, maybe we'll try something totally new and just have a hodgepodge of a bunch of different ones. So we'll see how that goes. For now, though, yeah, I was thinking of cleaning the board off, but I'm getting tired of doing it, and I guess it'll add character. I need to clean the table and stuff around it where I splattered everywhere. Yeah, I made a little bit of a mess. It's everywhere. Everywhere. My other half was saying I should get some of those, one of those, like project boards you get in school where it's got that little bifolds thing where it's like the large thing on the back, and then there's little wings that fold in over it. But then I can have like a little shroud. around the back and the sides, and then I can do my stars and flicking and all that without getting it on everything. Because right now you can tell there's paint everywhere. So maybe that's something I'll do in the future and find something that'll fit this area and let me protect it when I'm doing that and still be able to film it without it being in the way. So we'll see. We'll plan for that in the future. Until then, I'll try to avoid stars until I absolutely need to. But yeah, I think I'll start with figuring out something random to do with another one of these business card sheets today, and then pick on one of these guys that were pre-printed and just repaint over one of them. So that'd be interesting, I think. Yeah, enough yammering. Let's have some coffee. Mine's over here. It's a little warm today. It's been a little warm recently. Oh. Ah, God. Is there a thread on this over here? Not the light on, I can see it. There sure was. They got some new blackout curtains just to help with the heat and make the air conditioner be a little bit more efficient. And I had a little thread on it. Throw it out. I should be having iced coffee. That would be far smarter. I'll make some later. We had a power outage yesterday out of absolutely flipping nowhere. And it decided to just ruin our good time yesterday. Got all in our way. I didn't realize, man, when I flipped, I got paint all on this. Whatever. Paintbrushes are supposed to have paint on them. That's what gives them character. I just don't want it on the bristle drying and then I forget about it. Like right there. Yeah, so power now just at random, like a little before 6 o'clock yesterday, and it was out until, I don't know, man, 11, 12:30, 11, somewhere last night. Fairly late. And it was toasty until that finally came back on. Finally started cooling off outside at the same time we could finally turn the air back on. So that was fun. Hopefully it doesn't do that again. We need tape, don't we? Let's grab some tape. That worked last time. Is that my thinnest one aside from it? I think so. Yeah. What did I do last time? I did the pinstripe in the middle and then just did this around the edges. That's fine. Yeah, I can do that. Let's get the edges of this paint, taped down, and then I'll zoom in once we're ready to actually paint on it. You. I think I'll keep it nice and faint. Or maybe I'll do little individual guys in each one. We'll see. It's weird not having music. I'm used to having some kind of audio in the background, but I can't because it's flipping broken. So you get to hear me randomly saying, nobody wants that. This tape does not appear to be sticking. What gives? You are masking tape. You are supposed to mask. Do your fucking job and mask the paper. Hold it down. Your tape. You have glue on you. You're supposed to hold things down. Do your job and quit complaining about it. Okay, that was a little bit too much. It really does not want to stick. What happened? I've used this before. Is this the new one? No, this is the one. They're just being stupid. That, and that was an old one. And yeah, these are the ones I already had. I mean, they were always kind of finicky on paper. Have I not really tried using this one taping down to this board? Oh, that might be me. Maybe it just won't. I mean, it's taped down. It's just in some spots it just doesn't want to stick. I may have to go back over it with a regular painter's tape just to hold it down. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I realized, damn, I heard it on the microphone. I smacked the hell out of the table. It didn't feel like it when I was doing it, but it was louder than it actually meant to be. I meant to be like a, instead it was like, that was completely unintentional. Whoops. I'd say I didn't know my own strength. I'm a weakling. You can go out there. Whoa, you can go there. Stick down. Do this thing. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. All right. Well, it's tape. It's not great tape, but it's tape. Let's add a little blue tape down to help hold it down. It's really going to be stuck down. Yeah. So I see the little ad manager bar now. So now I can see like that I'm running ads, when they're starting, when they're about to start, how long they've got left. So that's kind of neat. Some new tools I've never seen before. I set up some emotes. We got emotes now. That's fun. I can't wait to be able to have people try those out. Made some cute ones. I'll have to see when it allows me to rename my prefix for emotes, because it did barely 68 entirely on its own. I didn't have any say in that at all. It just picked that, and it doesn't let me rename it yet. I looked it up and it says apparently you eventually get the ability to rename your prefix. So when the time comes, I will give that a shot, and maybe it will give me something a little bit more controlled without random numbers being a part of it. We'll see. But they're cute. ChatGPT helped me out. I'm, for all intents and purposes, not really a classically trained artist. So being able to come up with all that stuff completely on my own, at least to start with, didn't seem like it was going to happen. So at the very least, starting with ChatGPT and asking it to help me out and make some starter ones. And then as we go over time, I can actually probably make some or get help from others to make some for me. And then I can slowly start migrating out some of the AI ones for traditional ones, which I would prefer in the long run. But to start and have something, I let AI do a lot of the work. And I like what it made for the most part. It's pretty cute. There's a bunch of them in there. I think I can get to them from here. That's global. I need this one. Yep. So I've got, excuse me, I've got there's quite a few of them. Some are free, some are sub emotes. So I'm just going to kind of blast some on here because without having the page open, I just don't recall which ones are which. But yeah, maybe I'll look those up in a minute once I know someone's on and watching. Because then you can partake in them with me. Yep, we got some emotes, we've got subs. I got the most of the alerts working, at least the base level alerts for like following and subscribers, and when people donate bits and gift tips, I believe, I think are also on there. And if any of them have a ability to type in an alert, it will read that out loud as well. So with a little text to speech. So that's kind of neat. Yeah, and I guess we'll just explore as we go. We'll make, mods and learn how all of this crazy affiliate Twitch stuff works together. Because right now I just kind of know what I know from what's visible and what I see a few people doing, out there. All right. That part's taped down except for this corner, but I don't really care. That one's just going to be an annoyance. I think I'll use the thinnest one I got like I did last time. Oh, I'll do this, but I also need to do the in between with this. I need to cover up these, which I think was this size. So let's just do a couple of these little guys. And we'll just do that. No, you don't get to tear that way. You do what I tell you to do. Okay, sir. I am no yes, sir, no, sir kind of person. I used to be. God. Back when I lived in Georgia, it was like the common courtesy to very much yes, sir, no, sir, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. Everybody for everything. You don't really see a lot of yes, sirs, no, sirs, all those being said too very much often anymore. Not that it's really necessary. But if we don't have that, what kind of courtesy do we have left that we can say to people instead of, what do you want? You know, that just feels kind of rude. Same time, I don't want people to feel like they need to look up to someone, and I don't want to be looking down on anyone else. So sometimes courtesy feels like a respect my authority move, and I hate that. Why was I talking about that? Hell if I know. All right, that one's down. One more. And then we'll get the in-between little green tape down. And then I get to figure out what random ass thing to put down because I haven't thought about it. I have no idea. Not a clue. Didn't plan. Just doing. So I need a vertical, so we'll go that one. Approx. Okay. Grab the end of that. And if I want it to be here, that will cover up the tape that was ripped. But that also leaves kind of a big gap. But I'm just going to have some narrower cards and some bigger ones. And I think they'll just work out fine. No matter what, it'll work out. Now, what I could do, this is narrow enough, but I could do, well, if I do that, then there's going to be like a weird thing. No, I don't want to do that. Let me just continue with the horizontals. And I will put them across. You can go approximately here. All right. And one more. It's a little bit too long. Okay, and you can go approximately here-ish. All right. And then we continue to wing it. Hey, Desert, welcome in. A round will bounce on and off as you drive home over the next 3 hours. 3 hours? Girl, how far do you have to go? Is that for work? I hope you don't have to travel hours away for work. And if you do, I hope they pay you for all of your road time. Because that is insanity. Regardless, be safe. I'll be hanging out. Only bit of news I got to share is I made affiliate. Won't go crazy into the details. I was just surprised that I got an email about it because I thought I was nowhere near the follower requirement. And apparently, like a few weeks back or whatever, they cut the requirement in half from 50 followers to 25, and I had hit that. So I got a sudden, random, surprising, exciting, you've been invited to affiliate email on Thursday. So I set up, all of the affiliate things in here. So there'll be ads. emotes are available, all those things, subs are available, all that fun stuff. That's the end of my news. Put the tape up. Right. Well, I know how this goes. Let me get my paper cutter out because I'll need that at the end too. All right. Let's get our paint out. Actually, I don't get to use the other set too very often. Let's use that Kuretake set. Pull that out. As soon as I remember what drawer it's in. Oh, and the only other news I have is that Spotify decided to just break on me. So now I have no music. I'll have to figure that out. I I honestly don't know what else to do. I've done all of the obvious. I reset the app. I uninstalled it, reinstalled it, cleared cache, signed out, completely uninstalled it, and I put it back and had to sign back in. Still no fix. The audio doesn't want to work. It works when I'm in playing audio source over my speaker, but when I hook it up to my headphones like I normally do, it just totally silent and it doesn't show up in my audio sources. Well, it does, but it doesn't play anything. But as soon as I switch it back to any other audio source coming out of those speakers or whatever, just fine. Just this one has died. I don't know why. So that's a fun little project for over the next couple of days. We'll see how that goes. Or I'll find another audio solution because it'll just stay permanently broken and that's what I'll be stuck with. So we'll see. We'll see. That's the thing. Windows being Windows. I think the only new thing that happened between then and now is we had a power outage and it was running on battery backup, but we forced it off. So maybe forcing the computer off made it funky. But I don't see how because Spotify wasn't on when the computer was shut down. I close it when I'm not using it. So I don't know, man. Just weird BS. I'll figure it out. I'll format the entire hard drive of my computer and reinstall Windows just to fix Spotify. How's that for overkill? Okay. It's overkill. Let me think. I haven't really thought about it. What do I want to do? I've got a lot of great colors here. I can go ahead and wet it down and get these wet at least. They're thirsty. Let me hydrate them all. Right? Let them drink that up so I can use it in a minute. What do I do? I've done space. I've done abstract. I've not really done anything super intentional. I could try to make little actual intentional things, but abstract always ends up looking better because I don't have to think about it too much and it's random stuff on each page. But I could do something silly like little trees or something. I don't know. I hadn't really thought about it. I mean, why not, right? Sure. Okay. If that's the case, let me get, nope, not you. Nope, not you. This one? Yeah. Get a little palette out. How's that? Ah, some noise happened somewhere. All right. I'm hearing everything now because there's no music playing in the background. I'm just hearing everything. Crazy. All right. But yeah, let's do some trees. Maybe we can do different seasons. Oh, there's only 4 seasons, but I can figure out something to do in the last 2 quadrants. So maybe we can try that. Let's get some yellow. Put some in this thing. Get some water. It's interesting. It's acting like there's something in there. I probably didn't clean the brush out too well last time if there's something in it. You really get in there and rinse it down well. Let's try to get some more of this. There we go. It's nice and bright yellow. I guess we can start with like a spring up here in the corner. Okay. He'll do like a partial tree up in here. Just put a little bit of some yellow in some areas. Okay. Next, let's get some green. I like to color this sap green light. Let's hit that. Get that going next to it over here. I'll just get, that's a little bit too wet. And just add a little bit underneath. Okay. Hang on, let's pick a really darker green. We have like a deep forest green here. Let's hit some of that up. Oh yeah, that's nice and dark. Nice and dark. Let's make that as dry as we can. And I'll put just a little bit of it in the corners. Oh yeah, I think I made that disappear by wiping it all away. Bring some back. Put it just on the very bottom edge of all the green. Same over here. Okay. Grab a little bit of yellow and try to blend this in right here, tiny bit. Yeah, just to give that a little bit of color. And maybe right here, in a couple of spots where it kind of disappeared. Here we go. All right. I'm going to let that dry and then I'll come back to it and do some branches and stuff in it. Hey, Goddess. Yes, I made affiliate. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it just happened on Thursday. I think it was Thursday or Friday. I got the email just out of nowhere. Might have been Friday. Yeah, I had no idea. They apparently had, I thought it was a fluke at first, and I'm like, did I do something special? No. And then they lowered the requirement for followers from 50 to 25 like a few weeks ago. I had no idea. So I've been eligible as soon as I hit 25 followers. So that was great. So yeah, I got that all set up over the weekend. So I've got ads. You'll see those. One probably just happened a few minutes ago. Unless you're on like Twitch Turbo or at some point subscribe. But yeah, I've got emotes now that I set up. There's a few of them. You can probably check for them in the bar. Some are locked behind bit donations. Some are locked behind subscription tiers. But I'm just going to do one of all the ones that I set up so you can see them all. There they are in chat. Check them out. Hover over them. They're absolutely fucking adorable. I love every single one of them. And you can thank ChatGPT for all of it. It did an amazing job. And someday, sometime, some dollar in the future, I will make my own, or people can help me out and help make some for me and with me. when the time comes. But for now, this is what we got. I think they're all absolutely adorable. I had a lot of the ideas, and I just let ChatGPT do the work, and it did a great job, I think. So yeah, they're pretty cute. I like them all. I don't like the prefix it gave me for the emote name. Barely 68 makes no sense. Barely, yes, 68. It came up with that on its own. So at some point, it will allow me to be able to change or rename the emote prefix for my channel. And when it does that, I'll try to come up with something smarter than what it came up with. Barely is still there, but I wanted to name all of them like barely awake, barely cares, barely coffee, but I couldn't because barely is already in the name. So we'll see. We'll figure it out in the future. Yeah, it's really amazing. It's stunning. It worked incredibly well. And if anything, what it does for me, because I don't have the skill to make those myself in a quick time frame in a way that I like, it at the very least gives me a stopgap between nothing and something made by human, right? And I don't need to get rid of AI. It's for me, it's great at bridging the gap in areas I was never going to be able to do on my own in any kind of reliable time frame. So it does an absolutely beautiful job, and I'm proud of it for what it does for me. I thank it. Gracious. Gracious bear. All right. Let's switch to a thinner. No. I think I was going to wait until it dries. Let me at least get a script brush ready so I can do the trunks here in a bit. So I'll keep these to the side. But yeah, I just randomly decided I'm going to do one set of the business cards today. And I'm trying to just do a mix and match of different things. So today I'm just doing landscapey trees, just little scenes, I guess. They may not come out well because I'm not great at landscapes, but I've been practicing with trees a lot, at least some tree designs. So I'm trying to see how that goes. So we'll see. I'll give it some time. I'm thinking spring kind of colors in this one. Maybe we'll do like another spring one that's got more flowery colors. And then we could do like a summer that's all like bright, dark green kind of shades. I'll do some fall, do some winter, and then some random. Maybe we'll do like a winter day and winter nighttime. We'll figure it out, right? So I think let's look at doing some fall colored ones. So I've already got a yellow here. I've got a dog here that made it all the way up here. Let's pick on an orange. I adore this cadmium orange. It has such a pretty color. So I am going to grab that. Grab some water for it. Right, keep that to the side. And then I think I'll use this cadmium scarlet that's next to it. Okay. Same deal. Let's grab some water. Yeah, I set up nearly everything. I've got emotes for pretty much everything it asked for. Almost everything it asked for. The one thing I didn't do is I did the initial sub emote, but I haven't done the there's like a you've been subscribed for X amount of time. Here's a special emote for you. I haven't done any of those yet because I figure I'll wait until there's people subscribing before I make any special emotes for that. And maybe we reserve that for when we actually make our own emotes, and that can be some of the first ones that are real that I generate. We'll see. I don't know. It's all just kind of random thoughts in my head right now. And then I set up subscriptions are all there and working, or they should be anyway. I set up alerts properly. I started using the actual Twitch alerts instead of Streamlabs for most things. Streamlabs is still doing chat on screen, but I turned off the alerts through it, and I'm using the Twitch alerts instead. So all of the automatic Twitch alerts are pretty cool looking now. So when they come up, they're ones that will actually, like if there's a donation or a subscription and it has like a chat message in it that someone said, it'll read it out loud. It does like a little animation. It does a little sound effect, all those things. Just in time for Spotify to stop working, so there's no music. So it's not really a complete stream. It's just total silence and then me. So now I have to fill all the dead air, which I don't like doing. Because who wants to sit here and just absolute, complete silence? Like that. Oh, that's wild. It showed you just followed. I'm guessing, did you unfollow and refollow so it could show it? I think so. Yeah, that's wild. Yeah, you unfollowed and refollowed? Yeah. Yeah, so it does a little effect and it shows the message on the screen and everything, and it was loud. I heard it without music to help kind of filter and soften the blow. I'm just, the second there's a noise, I'm like, I'm gonna jump. That'll be fine. Oh, I should get some browns ready because I need to be able to do the trunks. I think I'll do a lighter color one and then a darker one. I'll probably just stick with the umbers. I've got a raw umber that's like a dark brown. I'll put that in the middle. Okay. And then we'll do different colors in a minute when we get to it. And then, excuse me, gosh. Throat is dry today. Gonna have to drink a lot of coffee. And then a burnt sienna, I'll do over here. I'll get that ready for the trunky trunk. All right. And let's go ahead and do a different spring scene over here. Maybe some with some flowers and stuff. All right. So if I were smart, I need to do the tree first, because if I try to do the background, I'll have to, well, I could technically do a light background and leave a gap for a tree and then have some bushes. I could probably do that, right? Oh God, this is scary. I'm just doing wild and crazy BS here. Let's see how things go. All right. I need another palette. Maybe. I'll maybe make it work. Let me just add some water to this sky color. So ultramarine pale is what it says. Okay. I'll mix that when I'm ready for it. For now, I'm just going to do some water. I'm just going to hit it up in here and do like a little halo around this area because I want my tree in the middle there. And just wet this area down because why the hell not? And let's get a little bit of blue going. And get a little bit in here. And some over here. Okay. Just to get some color in it. Whoa, that was a little bit too much. We'll let that dry and it will come up when it comes up. Okay. It's a bit much, but we'll be fine. Okay, and let's get some ground. I'll use some of the sap green light and add to the puddle I've got of it already over here. Let's grab some more water. Okay. Let's get close, but I'm not going to actually touch the sky because it'll start blending into it. I'm going to try to get really close to it. I'm going to leave a little bit of a gap where the tree's going to be. Just see what it does. I think that needs to dry before I do any tree because I know how I do. I know how I am. If I mix and match, it's just going to be hideous while it's wet. So I'm going to come back to that and then do a little tree and whatnot underneath it and try to fill that gap in. Yeah, the sound alert and the visual alert worked. I can replay it really quick. I have it up on the screen. Here it is. Yeah. Right? Looks like I saw the audio for it come up. I could hear it as well. Looks like it came up just fine. There's all kinds of good ones in here. I've got some. mm, I have follows. I see a shout out, but I can't replay that. That was from last stream or a stream before. I have follows. The text is really small and hard to read, but the hearts are a bit nice and big. Yeah, I made the size of it not take up the entire screen, but in the process, yeah, I probably need to boost the size of the text. I already added a drop shadow to make it more visible. Yeah, I purely left the default settings because I just didn't spend a tremendous amount of time on it yet. I just wanted to get the bare bones working. So yeah, these are good notes. Make the text larger, make the text a little bit darker so it's more legible, which makes sense on what I do. I don't do stuff on black dark grounds. I do stuff on pretty much white. So it needs to be more legible. So that makes a lot of sense. So yep, I'll do that when I get off stream or tomorrow or something. And let's play you again. Yeah, the text is fairly small. And it's like a little bit larger than the text from the chat, but if we wanted to scream it out loud and show it, it should be more obvious, I guess. Weird that their default size for it's so small, because I didn't change that. I'll mess with it later. And maybe we'll find like a dedicated place for it. Maybe we can put like a backdrop behind it. I just don't want to cover up the whole screen with stuff while it's playing. So I tried to keep its base transparency. Okay. Let's see. What was I doing? That. Yeah. Let's take a look at doing like a little bit of a background. We do a similar kind of sky situation for this one. And just kind of get a little bit of some spots around where there's free texture. And I got it just a little bit too dark up there and a little bit too light down here. So a bit of scrolling. And leave some room for branches and stuff. Make sure that gets close to that. Yep. Okay. That works for me. Okay. And out my little script brush, we can probably throw the branches in there now. Start light. That's not the one I wanted. That's the one I wanted. Mm. Okay. Let's go in with our darker, the raw umber deep shows. Give it a little bit of shadow on some of the branches on the right side. Okay. And then I'll add a little water to my brush. And this is a trick I saw someone do where they just scrub on the bottom and let it just kind of spread out. and it forms like a little dirt patch area underneath. So go do that one. And let's take a look at the one on the right. Same deal. Do some of the burnt sienna. And let's hit here and here next to it to give it some thickness in the trunk area. And I'll do a little bit right there and a little bit right there. And we'll just do some little in between the gaps. Make it look like there's a little something, something. And over here, whoops, that was a little bit too thick. And then there, and then we'll sneak that back down behind there. And maybe get a little dude over here too. All right. And then let's do our raw umber deep again. Hit the side, right side of this. And the right side of all the little branches. All right, same deal. Grab a little water. And let's do a little scrubby scrub on the bottom. Flick it to the right. And maybe we can add a little greenage around it in between. Just kind of scrub around it a little bit and get a little green in there. Now, is it perfect? No. Do I care? No. Am I going to try to fix it? Yeah, maybe, probably. You can spread out a little bit. You can get some stuff done. Yeah, that's probably fine. Don't mess with it too much, right? Yeah. Oh, you know the thing I forgot to do? Oh, damn. I did forget something. Supposed to, while it was wet right there, do that number. Oh, it still works a little bit. It's a little wet. Add a little bit to like the trunk, the base of the tree. Make it look like there's roots coming out by tapping where it's wet. When you wet the base of the tree trunk down and you swipe, you leave a tiny pool of water right there. And while it's still wet, you can go back for the same trunk color and just dab right at the base of the trunk. And it makes a little bit of a spread of color. And if it starts to thin out too much, I can just go back and I'll just add a little bit more to darken that up a little tiny bit. Yeah. All right. And now we got a little bit of time, 7.5 minutes until the next ads. Water. Not water, coffee. There's water in the coffee. I'm not drinking acid. Well, is coffee an acid or a base? I really don't remember. I think acidic. It's acidic. All right. So we need to do a tree over here. I think I'll start similarly. Maybe pretend like this is a little bit more of like a beginning of spring situation and make it really bright yellow. Okay. And maybe we'll just throw some yellow in this little air gap I made here between the sky and the ground. Make it look like there was a little something going on over there. And then in the right side of this right here as well. I don't know what the hell. Maybe I'll just do a little bit down here too. Make it really, really bright. Okay. And let's hit our green. and get, maybe we'll do from the other side. Do like a completely random ass tree. No real structure. Just kind of do it just for fun. I hear you over there, comment. Yes. Here's something out there and you just gotta respond. Yeah. All right. And let's get our really dark color. And I'll try not to use as much of it because I don't want it to take over. Yeah, see, that's just so wet, I think, that I ended up getting rid of all of it. I had to have a tiny bit on my brush so that it spreads a little bit. What is happening? Give me color, you ass. Okay, well, I'll just force it on there and then we'll spread it around if we need to. Because that's how we do things. And then shit doesn't work. Just me. I'm just little cheese. Uh, out again, just weird without having music. So used to it just being present. That's just weird when it's totally silent. Just add some little scratchy leaves in here. Doing what I said I wasn't going to do. I'm just covering up everything, but whatever. Four minutes until ads. Let's maybe pick on some random colors. I do have some red, but I think I'm going to go with a different color. There's a ultramarine. Ultramarine is quite pretty. Yeah. I do some random colors just down at the base. No, that's too close to the sky color. It needs to be a little brighter than that. I guess we can go red. I'm There we go. Like me, I'm just not getting anything on my brush. It, just get some red in there because why the hell not? Let's just pretend there's something red and flowery down there. Does it look good? Nah, probably not. Do I care? No, not particularly. Um, just put some really just thick, buttery, not even butter. So what's thicker than butter? Cheese. I'm putting some cheesy watercolor down. Just putting some just barely wet yellow down just to get some yellow color on top of the green. All right. Let's put the trunks in and see if it helps. Okay. Same deal. Let's just throw one in here and just get it down in the middle of the scene. Oh, way too early to be yawning. What am I thinking? Right. Let's get some down here. And let's put it over on the left side this time. No. Where are we at? 21 seconds until ads start. So, yep. Gives it like a little shadow as well. All right. Is any of this good? I say it like I read it from chat, but I read it from the chat of my mind. Is it good? No, not particularly. Again, I'm not great at scenery. I'm probably better with individual items, but trying to make it a whole complete scene, I just cannot figure out yet. So, maybe I'll just do trees without the sky stuff behind it, because that tends to be where I mess up. Let's do a fall one. It's too small. I'm yammering and sticking to the same brush I was using. Let's go yellow. And I'm just going to put it a little bit everywhere. This is a great big tree. And get some orange. This is that cadmium orange that I like. And just going to add some of it underneath some of the yellow. So hopefully the yellow stays on top mostly. And the orange doesn't hopefully take over, but we'll see. Okay. And maybe get a little bit brighter orange. Can I get just a little bit more? Hi. That'll be fine. Just grab some of this red color. It says it's cadmium scarlet. I'm trying to make it a little bit darker down at the bottom because, it's a tree for crying out loud. The darkest color should be really on the bottom where you have the shadow, right? No, I'm not going to do that. Okay. Well, it looks like it wants to be colorful. It looks like it wants to work. Just need to be better. I like it better. Right. Practice and training. Well, not a lot of chance of that happening. Uh, hmm, let's chunk it this time. Let's do something different. I'm going to use this got like no water in it. Come on. I have this white gold. It's kind of shimmery. Okay. I'm gonna put down here too, because why the hell not? And just pretending some branches are coming off in weird random ass places. Okay, that's fine. And then some black. See how that goes. If I add a little bit to the right side of these. You know what? All right. A random ass fall one. Let's do a really crazy one. Let's do. Let's pick a crazy color. And let's just do some random stuff. Because why not? Mm. And, ooh, that sounds like a neat idea. Imperial Violet. Let's darken them up using violet. Sometimes when I'm doing these random ass trees, I like doing colors that don't exist in nature because they're just weird looking. And I like that. Yeah. Is there anything else that would go with that color? Malachite and cerulean blue, huh? I did really pick those at random. Maybe a purple? Hit it with some random hits of a different type of purple. Yeah, it kind of blends in. Oh, maybe underneath, where it's lighter colored. Yeah, I can kind of make that work. So just scrub around a little bit and do random bullshit. Yeah, it's just random colors. Thank you. Hey, Crochet, welcome in. Thank you. Yeah, it just showed up at the end of last week and I started poking around with all the options to see how it works. You can see all the little emotes I made up above. They're super cute. Thank you, AI, because I would not be able to make all of those so quickly myself. But my goal at some point is to replace them like one by one with custom made ones. I did gray on that one. I did my browns on that one. What color would go underneath a teal and purple tree? Something totally off the freaking wall? Okay. I need water, please. All right. Do some random gold branches, because why not, right? I'm sorry, Comet. What were you hearing? Doggo was like, I hear noises. Grr. Grr. I'm a dog. Grr. Ooh. Be afraid. I'm a dog. You must be afraid. I protect. I protect my humans. Right. And maybe we go with black. Because why not? And try to darken up one side of our funky gold colored branches. Give it some kind of depth. Wee. Ow. Yep. Now they're like black gold. Black gold, Texas tea. Yeah, sorry, my music is not working today. Spotify crap the bed. Somehow or another, I started it up today. It plays music just fine on my speakers, but when I switch to my headphones, it's totally dead silent. I tried doing like 20 minutes of troubleshooting, like speed troubleshooting before getting on, and I could not figure it out. So even uninstalling, reinstalling, resetting the app, all that stuff doesn't work. So I'll probably just then end up signing into it in the browser and using it that way, which I didn't want to do. I was using the Windows app and it was working just fine. But no, it has to be a jerk. So that's where I'm at. Yeah, maybe this time we'll grab a little bit of that cobalt color and just dot a little bit of it down here in the on the ground underneath it to show like some of the leaves fell. Malachite, hit a couple little tiny spots of those too. Oh yeah, it actually blooms in there really nicely actually. I mean, yeah, that's good to know for the future. The malachite color blooms on top of black or gray. Interesting. Uh, yeah, those are things. The bottom ones, though, I wanted to do something wintry, but I mean, what is winter? Automod. What did Automod do? You must have said cheap. Wait, it automodded hillbillies? It automodded hillbillies. Are you kidding me? Oh, that's so silly. Anyway, my dogs managed to put on an old black and white episode. Wait, what? Wait, what? Hang on, let me reread this. My dogs managed to put on an old black and white episode of the Beverly Hillbillies. Quite a feat considering I have no television service. Reminds me of when one of them called South Korea. I'd be more concerned if they were doing all of that and then calling North Korea. But still, that's fascinating. How? I mean, I guess Beverly Hillbillies is so old that I'm sure everyone's allowed to broadcast it at this point. So, I mean, some kind of broadcast channel was allowed to. Hey, my dogs have class, man. Yeah, that's true. I remember watching reruns of Beverly Hillbillies. I mean, for me, it was reruns. I mean, I say that like everybody I know is old, but no, you're all beautiful. Everyone I know is gorgeous. Um, I mean, it's some a really weird show. I preferred I Dream of Jeannie myself and Bewitched. Those were great. Good shows. Some wacky canine magic right there. Yeah, they got some skills. My dog, he's got some skills too, but you know, he's got to prove himself sometimes. Yeah, super cute. I love him to pieces. He's super protective though. Um, Makes it really difficult to go anywhere with him. He doesn't bite. I mean, not that we know of. I don't think he ever would. I think he's just too gentle for that. But he does get protective to the point where he doesn't want random ass people to just approach us. He's getting better where they're walking by down the street and he just huffs at them. But if someone came at us, I think he would attack them. But knowing what that line is, I have no idea what it is for him. So we just keep him near us, and you know, he's fine. I make it sound like he's a terrible like nightmare. He's not. He's just when he's outside the house and there are people around that might be too close for comfort, or he gets startled. He gets startled and he acts like it. That's about it. Otherwise, he's a good boy. I love him to pieces. Nighttime. Or no, not even nighttime yet. Just winter trees. What does a winter tree look like? I mean, I think of wider trunks, like birch trees. Like they're barely there up against a white background. So how do I do that? Never tried that before. I mean, I could just experiment and just see what it does. I mean, the worst case scenario, I cut those ones off if I don't like them and throw them in the trash. So let's get ourselves black. And maybe I'll mix it up with this green. Because at one, I need the space. Now, just to give it some kind of funky color. I'll just use this and maybe I'll just do like pine trees. Pine trees work, right? I guess if I was going to do that, I should probably do a lighter color first and then darken it underneath. I have Iridian. Iridian will work. It's so quiet without music. I don't know what I'm doing. It's kind of creepy without music. How do people keep up the noise? I don't know. Not like that. I will figure something out. Gosh, I'm gonna have to fiddle fart around with making Spotify work again. Why did it just decide to just stop working? What's the deal with that? Like, oh, you're having a good day? Bam! Take away your good time. No music for you. Thanks. Thanks, Spotify. I feel what you're putting down. What you're putting down is pay for me. I'll figure it out. I don't know why it doesn't like me. It just doesn't want to work. Cause it hates me. It's like totally dead silent. Um, Gotta scoot. Nodding tonight. Catch you next time. Congrats again. Thank you, Crochet. Have a great night. Appreciate you stopping by. Say goodnight to the doggo. Wait, doggos? Doggos, yes. Say goodnight to the doggos. Maybe I'll hit this one with that forest green because it's really dark. And then I'll hit it with that dark, dark, dark green and then a forest green. Forest green. Forest green. Ah, speak of the devil, I'm getting tired myself. It was a long day. We were out of the house all day, so, well, for a portion of the day. All right, let's hit this weird black green color that we did. Whoa. Had darkened it up right away. Okay, grab a little bit more of that. A little bit on here. Yeah, it's a nice dark one. Keep it just at the bottom of would-be branches and whatnot. And then let's get us some trunkage. Good thing about pine trees, they're basically just straight up and down with their trunk. You Man, really showing my anti-skill tonight. Hey, it's okay. You know what? Let's do some weird scrubby things back in here. Just to put some random BS behind it so that it looks like something is back in the background. Because why not? I don't know what I'm doing. Ad start in 4.5 minutes. All right. I was already an hour and a half in. I feel like I haven't done anything. Okay. What am I going to do for this last one? I didn't even like how that one came out. I thought that was going to be really cool, and it turned out not to be so much, but it is what it is. Maybe we just do something random. Just something, just weird, random branches. Because I don't know what trees look like. Least of all, old, dead trees or dying trees. Maybe we just do a bunch of random stuff and then make it kind of merge. And then make it all kind of just blend together in the middle and just say, that's a tree. No, it's a Medusa. I mean, I never said I was smart, all right? Maybe if I just do a bunch of little branches going into it, it looks a little bit more realistic. It's probably what it needed. Some side branches and stuff. Ooh. Stop being tired. You're not allowed to be tired on the internet. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just going to do some random shapes. I hope that it works out. It's a big bush with random things coming out of it. And at the base of this, we'll put a bunch of sticks. Because there's sticks in the woods. Sometimes faking it makes it work. That turned out better than I thought it was going to. I'll take it. All right. Now, if I was a professional, one, I would have made mistakes, but two, I'd know how to fix some of these to make them look better. But I don't. I feel like much I would do would just mess them up. Like, I wish I could make this look like it has flowers over here. Don't think I'm going to be able to do that. I want to fix the hard edges on that, but I also don't think I'm going to be able to do that either. Oh, excuse me. Okay, I've got to stop being so sleepy. Maybe the magic is covering it up. Hey, look, it's a bunch of red. A bunch of red randomness. Boop, 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 boop. I don't know. Random. I'm random, all right? I'm random. Just deal with it. A bunch of grassy things, 'cause it feels like the right thing to do. But I don't know how to do it right. So they're just gonna be a bunch of random blades of grass. Why am I sing-songing everything? Because it's too quiet. So silly. Is it good? No. It's like inspiring people to want to come look at my Instagram looking at these particular ones. Not all of them. Some of them, yes. Some of them, no. Probably won't give this one in particular away. This one's kind of weird. I almost feel like I should have done it the other way around. The purple on top and the blue underneath. I don't know. I hadn't really experimented with those, so it probably would have been a better idea. This one's kind of okay. This one's kind of okay. I'm kind of happy with the orange one. Actually, I almost want to go back and do some of the red now that it dried. And probably put a little red. A couple spots on here. Ugh. Oh my God. I gotta stop yawning. Gotta stop with the yawning. That's not good at all. Grief. Good grief, he says. Good grief, Charlie Brown. Ding dong. Oh, we have a package coming that might be it showing up. Okay. Oh, I forgot I could have put some leaves down the bottom of this, but I didn't even think about it. I'll take some orange. I'll take a couple dots of it on the bottom where leaves would fall in the fall. And And then maybe a little tiny bit of red. Beep, bop, boop. Some of the red can go down here on the bottom as well. And that's where I'm gonna stop messing with the trees. Okay. I don't think there's anything else I can do to them aside from make them worse. So stopping is a good idea. Um, mm, I don't think there's anything I can do. Truly, I think it would be just a fool's errand to do anything else with them. So, yeah, let's dry what little might not be dry. Boop. I think the one thing, I say the one thing, there's many things I need to practice, but for sure, one of the things I desperately need to practice is landscapes. I fear them because they're so beautiful when people make them, but so complicated that I feel like it's outside my scope, at least at first, right? Like anything, it requires practice. So maybe that's something I'll do soon is locate some good tutorials. It's been a minute since I pulled up a good tutorial online. And truly just take the time to go through and watch how you're supposed to do it right. Maybe start with one color, use the Payne's Gray, because I always see people doing really beautiful, like misty scenes with Payne's Gray. So I might experiment with that. But I need to figure out how to make some cohesive elements that look good, like they were meant to be made properly. You know what I mean? I think if I can figure out how to do that in a simple way, I can expand on it and go a little bit more complicated at a time. That this stands, I'm just winging it, and winging it is cute. And sometimes I get happy accidents, but the reality is, I instead of accidents, I get failures, like real failures. So yeah, I think looking up some practice videos will do me a lot of good. I'm happy to. I always have been fine with the idea of watching other people and like using that as like a learning experience. Interestingly, one of my original plans when I was starting out painting and streaming was to come on with an idea. Today I'm going to make a landscape, and then I'll make a landscape and we'll all witness my hilarious failure. And then it'll be like, okay, let's go look up how you're supposed to do it and then see if we can actually improve upon my original with some training. That's always one of my ideas to do that. So I clearly want and need to get that done. Um, yeah, I truly just need to do it. And then I think it'll help me grow just practicing and practicing and practicing more and more. I'll be able to get more done. I'll feel a little bit more confident about what I'm doing. So yeah, it's on my list. It's on my list of many things. So let's get these cut and see what they look like. I think I'll try to get this one down the middle this time. And ooh, it will scan, but that was close to the edge. I should have been closer to the side of that when I did this. I did not think that through before I cut. I think it will still scan though. I'll check it with my phone here in a minute. Make sure they still show up. But that being said, I now need to try to correct some of this. So let me Oh man, you have one of those days you're just like, well, it's okay, but I am not feeling it in a way that makes me feel kind of depressed where I'm at. I mean, not depressed like true depression, just displeased. Probably a better, safer way to call it. Just displeased. Displeased with how it came out, but it'll be fine. It'll be fine. It will be fine. Let's cut these. You are between. You go down there and go. All right, that's fine. That's one. You also need to go through here. Pause. All right. This one's got loads on that side, so you can trim a little bit of this. I try to get it where the color of the image is just covered up by the ruler and then trim off everything else. That leaves a pretty consistent border on that side. And let's cut the top and the bottom the same way. Guys, I think I'm going to stop after this. I am just feeling kind of tired, kind of bummed. The music already killed my mood. The non-music, I mean. I'm always the worst patient. It's just like a doctor is the worst patient. Like, I literally, my entire job for years has been technical support, like fixing people's technical problems. But when I have a technical problem, I become the biggest fucking baby in the planet. And it's the truth. And I don't mean to, but it's just, helping others is like, I don't feel affected too fully by their problem as if it were my own problem. But I get the same kind of joy out of fixing their problem. I mean, at least I used to, and that's what I was doing. But when it's your own problem and you have to come home after a long day or week's work, and then you got your own bullshit to deal with, nothing kills your buzz more than that. And clearly, after even years of not doing that for other people so much anymore, I still feel that way. When something happens and doesn't want to work right, and it's down to the last minute and I cannot get it to work, nothing bums me out more. I will be fine. Clearly, it's not the biggest thing that could have happened. But, I mean, if I were to start something new, it would probably be like another hour of doing something, and I don't want to go for 2 hours and 45 minutes today. I was going to pick one of these and just like paint through something really quick. Like, I suppose I could do something really basic. I really want to do one of the Star Trek ones, but they're not as simple as you would think. Like, I want to do them right. So those would take more time to focus on. So if I were to do anything, it would be something like stupid simple, like coloring in a random skyline for this and just cover things up with random color and don't worry about it. And I don't want to do intentional bad. Like, I tried this, but this would be just like throw it on there. I don't want to just throw something together. So yeah, we'll save it for next time. I'll try to do a good plan for Thursday. And if we're not, if we're home, do my damnedest to make sure to get something done, get on a stream early. You know what I mean? Yeah. I think Thursday I'll try to properly plan and I'll probably stream early and finish early. So I've got time at the end of the day on Thursday as well. Because I am still off. I'm on PTO. I want to enjoy it as much as possible. So I think I'll stop there. They're cute. I did thank you, goddess. Thank you. I did put some in my wallet. So I've got a couple in my wallet already. I just put them in there earlier today before we left the house. I don't have room for all of these, clearly. But I took 6 with me just to keep in my wallet. So yeah, again, mixing them with the ones I've already done, it's a nice collage of ideas, right? And I'll figure out something to do on another set. I've got one more set of this, uh, one more blank of this one. So I'll figure out something to do with it. I'll probably go back to complete abstract, but I'll do something a little bit lighter in color and less muddy than this stuff. Because I like how these come out when I don't cover up the name. It looks far sharper when I cover the name up and peel. I like how that looks. So I'll try to do something in the same vein as that. And then this line of the business card will be over and I'll make some new one. I don't know how or what color, but I'll figure something out. And then the next cards we'll see after I do the last batch of them will be sometime in the future and it'll be some new shape. I don't know what. I'll figure something out. If I really was smart, I would just do a complete painting on one side entirely of the thinner paper and have the other side printed with the QR codes with the information and just cut that out and just be like, you've got an entire cutout of a painting on one side. I think that actually is pretty smart. So that's probably what I'll do when I get around to it. But yeah, let me go ahead and end there for today. Goddess, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Desert, if you're still out there, thank you so much for hanging out with me as well. Let me shout out you guys and then boogie on out of here. Oh. Desert, I think you were in first. And then there we go. You guys, thank you all so much for hanging out with me. Anyone that comes in later and looks up the VOD, please check out the people I just added in a chat. Desert Dragons Lovers, amazing watercolorist. Goddess Whispers is a amazing crafter of all trades. Started out with crochet for me, and then I think gaming, and then you recently started foraying into some watercoloring as well. I love everything you've been doing, so please keep it up. Don't ever stop. And then crochet has been absolutely amazing. Came in a couple times after watching someone else's stream, Artful Turkey. She's a mod over there and came over and visited with me a couple times now, and I absolutely appreciate them being here. So yeah, that's all I'm going to do for today. I'm going to boogie on out. Let me pick on a random emote of mine and just spam the ever-loving shit out of it and then go rest. Oh, that's the BRB one. That's the raging. I'm not going to rage. That would be terrible. If I don't have the energy for it. Ooh, coffee sounds good. I'll have some more coffee. Yeah, let's do that one. Copy you. Copy. And then paste. Click. Do what I say. Do what I say. Copied. There we go. All right. Too much caffeine. All right. I'm gonna head out. Have a good night. I'll see you guys later. Bear out. Bye.